Hey, this is Firecracker, and today we're going to talk about the Indian Scout and the Harley-Davidson Sport Glide. I'm just kind of comparing the two bikes in this video to help me decide which one I think is best for me. Last year, I got to do a demo ride on both bikes in the same day, one right after the other. I rode the Indian Scout first, and it was set up with a small mini batwing and saddlebags, and I really liked the bike. This is the first newer bike I have rode. My current bike is a 20-year-old Harley-Davidson Dyna, and I was impressed with how much easier this motorcycle was to ride and how smooth it felt compared to mine. Then we went down the road and did the Harley-Davidson demo rides, and I rode a Sport Glide. I had never even seen this bike before. I'm not the kind of person that goes out and checks Harley-Davidson's website every couple months to see what's new, and I don't go out and research all the new bikes, just because it's no fun to look at something you can't afford. I looked through the bikes and sat on them until I found the one that I felt was comfortable and decided that the Sport Glide was the one I wanted to do a demo ride on. I must say, after doing the demo ride on the Sport Glide, I was in love. But cost is always a consideration, so let's compare these two bikes and see if we think the difference in price is worth it for the Sport Glide. First, we will just get into the engine because that's what everybody seems to care about. The Scout is about 69 cubic inches while the Sport Glide has 107 cubic inches. The Scout does put out 100 horsepower where the Sport Glide only has 86. If I understand this correctly, this has to do with the difference in the design of the motors, and the Scout has liquid cooling versus the Sport Glide is air cooled. The torque on the Scout is only 72 foot-pounds, while the Sport Glide is 108. They both have 6-speed transmissions, and the seat height is almost identical at about 25.6 or 7 inches. The Scout has 1 inch more ground clearance, but I don't know if that makes a big difference on a street bike, especially when the lean angle is almost the same for both bikes. The Sport Glide has a 64-inch wheelbase, which is just 2 inches longer than the Scout, but the Scout comes in at 561 pounds, ready to ride. The Sport Glide is at 700 pounds. This also means that the Scout puts out almost a third more horsepower per pound of weight. The Scout also has a smaller fuel tank at 3.3 gallons, while the Sport Glide has a 5-gallon tank and gets slightly better gas mileage at 47 miles per gallon. I was surprised when looking this up to find out that the Harley-Davidson Sport Glide has a 4-piston front caliper while the Indian only has a 2-piston caliper on the front. On the rear, the Sport Glide runs a 2-piston caliper while the Scout runs a 1-piston caliper. Okay, it's time to get into the bottom dollar. The Indian Scout I did a demo on came with the mini detachable fairing and saddlebags. This bike starts out at $11,500. And then you have to tack on the $1,100 for the fairing and $700 for the bags. That brings the total to $13,300. The Sport Glide includes the fairing and bags. It starts out at a much higher price of $18,600. I really like the Sport Glide better, and I feel like the ability to customize the bike and make it your own is much easier due to all the aftermarket parts available for Harley-Davidsons compared to Indians. I am not as familiar with Indians as I am with Harley-Davidsons, so if someone out there feels that the aftermarket parts are just as good for the Indian, please leave me a comment down below. I know $5,000 is a big difference in the cost, but if I could afford it, I would still choose the Sport Glide over the Indian. I just really like the look and the feel of that bike better. Unfortunately, I don't give a fuck kind of money, so we will still have to wait and see what the future holds. My boyfriend keeps trying to tell me I should go ride the new Rebel 1100 when it comes out. It comes in under $10,000, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I've never dreamed of riding a Honda growing up. Not to mention, I would have to buy a whole new wardrobe, and it is ugly as hell. Even if they made it in purple, I don't think I would change my mind. If you like this video, make sure you don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more videos by me in the future. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.